Morning. It's here. April 5th. It's a tough day for me. But I woke up this morning and some of that heaviness actually feels a little lighter this morning. I think sharing this the last few days and what I go through every year around this time has actually been really helpful to me. And I sat here and I said, what would Jim want this morning? He would want me to tell you that he was a really cool guy who lived life by his own rules, and he really did. Those rules didn't match up with society's rules all the time, and it created a lot of problems for him. But he was a really good man, had a good heart. Heart that was maybe a little bit too soft for the rest of the world, because it was really hard for him to live in this world as himself. It's just really not a world that accepted him the way he was. Something we see all the time. And he would tell you how proud he is of me. He would tell you how I stood by him and loved him even when it was hard. But I believe he would also tell you that I should move on with my life and do what's best for me, and that he's sorry. He, as many of you know, my partner passed away of a drug overdose. He had a real pain in his heart that he was struggling with in life, and sometimes people don't win that battle, and he didn't. But I honestly believe he would sit here today and say that if he could go back, that if he could find a way to stay, he would. And that I'm okay now that he's gone. But that was always his biggest fear. He used to tell me, because he knew, I think most addicts that deal with that kind of level of addiction, they really know at some level. And he and I talked about it. And he used to tell me that he knew that everybody else in his life, all of his family, they were wonderful people, and they had wonderful people in their lives. And that he knew that when something happened to him, because I believe he knew that they would lean into those people and they would get through it. But he used to tell me the one person he worried about was me. Because he knew I didn't have much else that I could lean on. That's how I found him, right? That's how he found me. And on the 5-year anniversary of the day he left, I want to kind of validate that and say he was right. I was the one that didn't know what to do and didn't know where to go and didn't have a support net, a safety net of people. And the consequences of his passing fell hardest in the real world on me. And I know that if he were here today, he would tell you that he's so glad I was there, but that he wishes that I wasn't. He never meant for it to be like this. I know that because I know him. So as the survivor, first and foremost, let me say, never ever regret loving people. Don't ever regret that. And I don't regret 1 second of loving him. But get yourself some help if you're dealing with somebody who has addiction issues, because you don't know what could happen. And when and if it does, you're gonna need a lot more than what you've got right now, and I promise you. And if you have addiction issues, as somebody who loved someone so much, if you worry about what will happen to them, don't worry about them. Worry about you, because that's what they're doing. And just believe that you deserve better. And reach out to anyone that will listen, and keep reaching out until someone hears you and helps you, because Jim went to treatment 6 months before he died, and they sent him home because he needed a psychiatric evaluation before he could engage in treatment. And he was at a dual diagnosis facility, and he came home with an appointment he never kept. And he came home and he went right back to his addiction that day, and he never had a chance after that. So keep asking if there's any regret I have in this world. That I could not get through to them, that they could not send him home. So, for those of you who need help, keep asking. And for those of you who need help helping someone else, keep asking. And Jim, wherever you are today, I forgive you. We didn't know. We didn't know, and I know that if there was any way to change it, you would. But I have to change it now. That's my job. And that's what I'm doing right now, talking to you. Trying to figure out how to change it for somebody else. That's Jim's gift today. His gift to you. His gift to me. Is being able to tell you that there's hope, that there's help. And there's forgiveness. And there's healing, and there's moving on. and carrying with you all that they brought to your world. And everything that story, everything that Jim's story still has the power to do in this world. What a gift. I'd much rather have him, but I'm glad that there is some way to help by talking about it. So, thank you for letting me do that today. I'm just gonna try and focus on that today, the celebration of what he brought into the world and what he brought to me. And the opportunity for change that losing him has brought about in my life. Because in the darkness, there has to be some light. I believe that. I hope you can find your light today.